The day your bank balance hits zero doesn't arrive with fireworks or warning sirens. It shows up quietly, usually late at night, when you open your banking app and feel that sudden drop in your stomach. In the United States, this moment is more common than anyone likes to admit. Millions of people earning decent salaries reach a point where the number simply stops moving. Rent is due, credit cards are maxed, and the next paycheck is already spoken for. This isn't just a money problem, it's a psychological shock. Your brain switches from planning the future to pure survival. Fear, shame, and urgency take over, and that's exactly when most people make their worst financial decisions. Today, we're going to break that moment down calmly, step by step. Not with motivation, not with guilt, but with a clear plan for what to do the day your balance hits zero, and how to make sure it never controls your life again. The first mistake people make when their balance hits zero is panic spending. In the US, credit cards are marketed as safety nets, so the instinct is simple. Swipe now, worry later. Groceries, gas, subscriptions, takeout, everything goes on credit because it feels like the only option. But this reaction turns a temporary cash problem into a long-term debt problem. Zero balance doesn't mean failure. It means the system you're using is broken. At this stage, your only priority is stopping the bleeding. That means freezing non-essential spending immediately. No just this once purchases. No emotional spending. Every dollar that leaves your account now increases pressure on your future self. This isn't about deprivation, it's about buying time. Time is your most valuable asset when cash is gone. The goal of day one is simple. Survive without digging the hole deeper. Once spending is frozen, clarity becomes your weapon. Most Americans don't run out of money because they earn too little. They run out because money leaves without a system. On this day, you write everything down. Income dates, fixed bills, variable expenses, minimum debt payments. No estimates, no guesses, brutal honesty. This moment often hurts because it exposes how much of your income is already promised to past decisions. But clarity removes fear. When numbers are visible, control starts returning. This is also when you identify the real threat: cash flow, not net worth. You don't need to be rich right now, you need breathing room. And breathing room comes from knowing exactly what must be paid, what can be delayed, and what can be eliminated without destroying your life. The next step is stabilization, and this is where most people quit too early. In the US, emergencies are expensive, and without savings, every problem becomes a crisis. Your mission now is to build a micro buffer, not a full emergency fund, just enough to break the zero balance cycle. Even $500 changes behavior. To do this, you temporarily downgrade your lifestyle. Not forever, just long enough to reset. Cancel subscriptions. Reduce convenience spending. Negotiate bills if possible. At the same time, you look for short-term income boosts. Overtime, freelancing, selling and used items, short gigs. This isn't about hustling forever, it's about regaining momentum. Momentum is psychological. The moment your balance stops hitting zero, your decisions improve automatically. After stabilization comes the real shift, changing the role money plays in your life. Zero balance days usually happen because income is treated as something to consume, not something to command. From this point forward, money gets assigned jobs before you touch it. A portion protects you. A portion covers life. A portion builds your future. This is how financially stable Americans think, regardless of income level. Credit cards stop being survival tools and return to being payment tools. Emergency funds replace debt as protection. Progress becomes boring, and that's a good thing. Boring finances are strong finances. This is where freedom actually begins, not with big wins, but with quiet control. The day your balance hits zero feels like the bottom, but it can also be the turning point. Most people let this moment define them. A few use it to redesign their system. The difference isn't discipline or intelligence. It's decision. You can keep reacting every month, or you can build a structure that absorbs pressure before it becomes pain. The zero balance day doesn't mean you're bad with money. It means the old rules no longer work. And once you learn the new ones, you stop surviving month to month and start building something that lasts. The question isn't whether this day will happen again. The question is whether next time you'll be prepared or finally in control.